Okay, hi everyone, this is my maths homework video 6. Let's do the first question. Suppose you have ABC in GP, you have to prove that log A, log B and log C are in an AP. So ABC are in GP, that means that B square is equals to AC. So when you apply log on both sides, you get log of B square is equals to log of AC. But now here we can use the rule that log of a to the b is equals to b log a, right? We can use this rule, and using that rule we can say that the left hand side is going to be 2 log b is equal to log of a. Now here we can use another rule. Okay, here we can use the rule that log of mn is going to be equal to log of m plus log of n. So using that rule we can write the right hand side as log a plus log c. Okay, so that means that log b minus log a is equals to log c minus log b. So their difference is the same. So yes, they are in AP. This was easy. Let's go to the second question. If ABC are in GP, prove that 1 over log to the base a of m plus, and then 1 over log to the base b of m, and then 1 over log base c of m are in AP. Okay, so this is just another question which can be done using properties of log. So 1 over log base x of y is the same as log base y of x. So here you just instead of taking log to the base a of m, this is going to be log base m of a, log base m of b, and log base m of c, right? Okay, cool. We have to prove that this series is an AP if ABC are in GP. Basically it's the same as the previous question. Over there we had to prove that log a, log b and log c are in AP, which means log to some common base is log to the some common base of a, log to that same common base of b, and log to the same common base of c. Those are in AP. Here the common base is going to be m. So yes, these are also in AP. Easy. Okay, let's go to the third question. If ABC are in AP and ABD are in GP, prove that A minus B and D minus C are in GP. So ABC are in AP, which means that 2B equals to A plus C, and ABD are in GP, which means that B square is equals to A into D. Okay, we have to prove that A minus B and D minus C, these things are in GP. So proving that to prove that, what we're going to do is that we're going to look at the square of the middle term and the product of the first and last term. So the product of first and last term is going to be A into D minus AC, and the square of the middle term is going to be A squared minus 2AB plus B squared. Okay, cool. What do we get? We get that AD wait, why is this AB over there? This is not supposed to be AB, this is supposed to be A times B. So AD is B squared minus AC. Okay, and over here, well, you can get A minus C squared. Okay, so what do we do with this? Yeah, let's substitute this C in terms of A. That will make more sense. So we just get D squared minus A times, well, what is C from this equation? From this equation we can say that C is going to be 2B minus A. So that is just B squared plus A squared minus 2AB, which is the same thing as this. So yes, both LHS and RHS are the same thing. So that is a legit equation, which means that yes, these are in GP. Okay, let's go to the next question. If the pth, qth and rth and the sth term of an AP be in GP, Wow. Then prove that P minus Q, Q minus R, and R minus S are in GP. Okay, let's do it. So the pth, qth, rth, and sth term of an EP, that's going to be a plus p minus 1 q, a plus p minus 1 into d, where a is the first term, d is the common difference, and then a plus q minus 1 into d, and then um, a plus r minus 1 into d, and you also have a plus s minus 1 into d. Okay, so these things, these are in a GP. Okay, so these are in a GP. What can you get from that? And what do we have to prove? We have to prove that P minus Q, Q minus R, and R minus S, these are in GP. Well, this is weird. These are supposed to be in GP. Maybe we can divide this GP by the common difference, and then that will possibly simplify some stuff. Yeah, let's just try it. Or maybe we can do this. So the product of these two is supposed to be equal to the product of these two, right? That's obvious. And the product of these two, that should be equal to the square of this. And okay, so well, that's fine. I think there is supposed to be a better way than this thing. Well, you do have the ratio, right? Okay, so I think I'm getting how to do it. Let me just try it out. So what are we going to get? We are going to get the qth term, which is a minus d plus qd. I'm just writing differently. Upon the pth term, which is a minus d plus pd. This ratio is supposed to be the same as the rth term upon the qth term, which is a minus d plus rd upon a minus d plus qd, which is supposed to be the same as the what? The h term upon the rth term. Yes. So that's going to be a minus d plus s into d upon a minus d plus r into d. Okay. So we have to prove that p minus q, q minus r, and r minus s are in GP. Maybe we can use a theorem on equal ratios on this thing, right? So when you subtract the numerators from, when you subtract this from that and this from that, that ratio is still the same as this ratio. Okay, we can use that. So let's subtract this, these two from these two. So that will give me r minus q into d upon q minus p into d. Okay, that is the same ratio as these ratios, and that's also going to be when we subtract these two from these two. Okay, that should work. So we just get s minus r into d upon q minus r, I think. No, wait, no, r minus q, sorry. Okay, that is r minus q into d, and these cancel away. So what do you get from that? Yes, that r minus q upon q minus p equals to s minus r upon r minus q. So r minus q, okay, so q minus p, r minus q, and s minus r, these are in a geometric progression. Okay, cool. And what we had to prove was that p minus q, okay, just multiply by negative on numerator and denominator. So that will give me the required result. So we will get, when you multiply by negative on numerator and denominator, we will get q minus r upon p minus q is equals to r minus s, r minus s upon q minus r, which is exactly what we had to prove, right? So p minus q, q minus r, and r minus s, these are in a GP, just like what we had to prove. Cool. Let's go to the next question. If 1 by a plus b, 1 by 2b, and 1 by b plus c are three consecutive terms of an AP, prove that a, b, c are three consecutive terms of a GP. Okay, So these are consecutive terms of an AP, which means that 2 times the middle term, which is 1 by b, is equal to sum of the first and last term, which is going to be 1 upon a plus b plus 1 upon b plus c. Okay, let's see what we get from this. So we get 1 by b is equals to a plus 2b plus c upon ab plus well ac plus b squared plus bc. Okay, so from that we can say ab plus ac plus b squared plus bc, that is equal to ab plus 2b squared plus bc. So these things cancel. So from that we can say ac is equals to b squared, which means that a, b and c are terms of a GP, or are consecutive terms of a GP. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next question, which is okay, if x to the a is equals to x to the b by 2 into z to the b by 2. Oh, okay, that's fine. Is equal to z to c. Then prove that 1 by a, 1 by b and 1 by c are in a AP. Wow. Well, I was not expecting this. Okay, cool. What should we do for this question? Well, let's just say there's something like r. Well, okay, let's say that these things which these are equal to that, that thing is going to be something like m. Okay, cool. So from the first equation, which is x to the a equals to m, we can say that x is equals to m to the 1 by a power. From the next equation, we can say that x times z is equals to m to the 2 by b power. And from this equation, we can say that z is equals to m to 1 by c power. So when you multiply these two, yes, you just get x times z is equals to m to 1 by a plus 1 by c, and that is exactly this. Okay, xz is also this thing. So these two exponents, these should be the same. So 1 by a plus 1 by b equals 1 by c equals to 2 by b, which means that 1 by a, 1 by b and 1 by c, these are in AP. Okay, this was easy. So the next question is find k such that k plus 9, k minus 6 and 4 form 3 consecutive terms of a GP, which means that k squared minus 12k plus 36, this is supposed to be equal to 4k plus 36. Yes, so these cancel away, so k equals to 0, or you have k minus 12 is equals to 4, which means that k equals to 16. Okay, so you have two values. Let's check what we get for each of them. When k equals to 0, when you put that into these three numbers, you get 9, minus 6 and 4. So the ratio over here is going to be, well, I think it's going to be minus 2 by 3. Yes, minus 2 by 3. Or when you put k equal to 16 in this, you get 25, 10 and 4. So here the ratio is 2 by 5. So here the ratio is minus 2 by 3. This is, and here the ratio is positive 2 by 5. Okay, cool. So that's it. These are the two values of k. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next question, which is 3 numbers are in an AP. Okay, and their sum is 15. So the sum of 3 numbers in AP is 15. So the middle, so suppose the 3 numbers are a minus d, a and a plus d, then the middle term is obviously going to be 15 upon 3, which is 5. So we will just get 5 minus d, 5, and 5 plus d as the 3 numbers. Okay, If 1, 3 and 9 are added to them respectively, they form a GP. Find the three numbers. Okay, cool. So when you add 1 to this, you get 6 minus d. When you add 3 to this, you get 8. And then you get 9 plus 5 is 14 plus d. So these numbers are supposed to be a GP. So you will get 8 squared, which is 64, is equals to 6 minus d into 14 plus d. So equals to 6 minus d into 14 plus d. So from that we can say that 64 plus d minus 6 into d plus 14 is equals to 0. From that we can say that 64 plus d squared, 14 minus 6 is plus 8 d, and then minus 624 is 84 is equals to 0. This is some things. Okay, cool. Okay, so simplify this. D squared plus 8d minus 20 is equals to 0. So 20 can be broken as 10 and 2. So it's going to be d plus 10 and then d minus 2 is equals to 0. Therefore the difference is minus 10 or 2. So the middle term is supposed to be 5. If the difference is minus 10, then the first term is going to be 15 and the next term is going to be minus 5. Okay, so when you add 1, 3, 9 to these numbers, you get 16, 8 and 4, which is obviously in a GP. Okay, when d is equal to 2, you get the first term as 3, the next term as 7. When 1, 3, 9 is added to these terms, you get 4, 8 and 9 plus 7, which is 16. So that is also a GP. Okay, yeah, find the numbers. So that's it. That was the whole thing. You found both the sets of the three numbers. Okay, let's go to the next question. The sum of three numbers which are consecutive terms of an AP is 21. Sum of three numbers consecutive terms of an AP. Oh, okay, cool. If the second number is reduced by 1, the third is increased by 1, you obtain three consecutive terms of it. Oh, okay, it's almost the same as before. So suppose these are a minus d, a and a plus d. The middle term is supposed to be 7. So this is going to be 7 minus d and 7 plus d. Now what we are doing is that we are reducing the second number by 1 and increasing the third number by 1. So we get 6 and 8 plus d, and here this is 7 minus d. We obtain three consecutive terms of a GP, so which means that 36 is going to be equal to 7 minus d into 8 plus d. So from that we can say d squared, well, minus 7 plus it is plus 1, which is plus d, and then minus 56 plus 36 is equals to 0. So we get d squared plus d minus 20 is equals to 0. Well, 20 can be broken as 5 and 4. So we get d plus 5 into d minus 4 is equals to 0. So either d is minus 5 or it is 4. Just erase everything else. The middle term is going to be 7. So let's see what numbers we get. So suppose the middle term is 7 and we choose d to be equal to negative 5. The numbers would be, well, the first number would be 12. Next it would be 2. So when you reduce this second term by 1, you do get 6, and when you add 1 to this third term, you get 3. So yes, this is a GP, correct? Okay. If the common difference is 4, middle term is 7, so in that case you will get 3, 7 and 11. So when we modify it, will come this thing. We reduce 1 from 7 to get 6 and add 1 to 11 to get 12. This is also a GP, so that is also correct. Okay, the next question is, I think that's it. That was the last question for this page. Let's go to the next page. Okay, so the sum of three numbers ABC in AP is 18, which means that the middle term is going to be 6. Okay, the terms before that is 6 minus d, after that is 6 plus d. Okay, if A and B are each increased by, what is this, by B and C, I think. Oh, sorry, are each increased by 4. So A and B both are increased by 4 and C is increased by 36. So this is A, this is B, this is C. Okay, so if A and B are increased by 4, what we get is, we get 10 minus D, and then 10, and what happens to C is, where is it, and yeah, C is increased by 36. So in that case you will get 42 plus D. The new numbers form a GP, find A, B and C. So that means that 100 is 10 minus D into 42 plus D, which means that D squared plus 32D minus 420, okay, plus 100 is equals to 0, which means that D squared plus 32D minus 320 is equal to 0. Well, 320, that is weird. Okay, think of it, how can we factorize it? So 320 can be written as 64 into 5. That won't work easily. What else can we do? So we can write as 16 into 20. 16 to 20, that will not work. So we want, oh, this is bad. This is not working nicely. It's got to be some other way. But yeah, that's it. We didn't make any kind of mistake, right? Yes, this is correct. Okay, we have to think of some factors. So 320, that can be written as 4 into 80, or that can be written as 16 into 40, I think, or it can also be written as, come on, we have to think of something. Try with an 8 somewhere. So 128, that might not work. No, I don't think that will work. So 5 into 64, that does not work. 32 into 10, we already saw that won't work. Okay, let's just use the quadratic formula now. Enough of this. Let's use the quadratic formula. So D equals to plus minus root B squared, which is going to be 32 squared minus 32 squared minus 4AC, which is going to be plus 4 into 32 into 10. Okay, and then minus 32 upon 2. So that's going to be plus minus, well, I can factor out the 32 from each of them. So just give me 32 into 32 plus 40 minus 32 divided by 2. Just erase some things right now. Okay, so from this we will get D is equals to plus minus 32 is going to be 16 into 2, I think. So 16 can be written as 4 squares. This is going to be 4 root of 2 into 32 plus 40 is 72, and then minus 32 upon 2 is going to be plus minus 2 root of, well, what's 72? 72 is going to be 36 times 2. This is going to be 4 into 36. This is going to be minus 16, which is, this is 2 into 2 squared into 6 squared, which is going to be 12 squared. So 2 into 12 is plus minus 24 minus 16. So this can be 24 minus 16, which is 8, or it can be minus 24 minus 16, which is minus 40. Oh, so Yeah, 8 and 40. Well, that should have worked, but we didn't see that. Whatever. That does work. So that we got easily. What do we have to find? Where is that question basically? So the sum of the numbers. Find A, B, and C. Not bad. So the middle term is what shit. Difference is 8 or minus 40. Let's erase everything else. 8 or minus 40. The middle term we were told is 6. Okay, I think so. So the middle term is 6 because the sum is going to be 18. This is 6 plus D. This is 6 minus D. This is A, B, and C. Okay, cool. So difference is 8 or minus 40. So this is 6 and minus 2 and 14, or it can be minus 40. So 6, and then we get 6 plus 40 is 46, and then we get minus 34. Okay, that's correct. Not bad. Okay, let's go to the next question. The sum of three numbers in GP is 56. If we subtract 1, 7, and 21 from these numbers, then in that order we obtain an AP. Find the numbers. So suppose if these three numbers are A, AR, and AR squared, and their sum is 56. Okay, and then if we subtract 1, 7, and 21 from these numbers, okay, then we get an AP, which means that 2AR minus 14 is equals to A minus 1 plus AR squared minus 27, which is going to be A minus 1, A plus AR squared minus 28. That's nice. So this becomes minus 14. Okay, what do we get from that? We get 14 is equals to, well, A into R squared minus 2R plus 1. So it's going to be A into R minus 1 squared, I think. Yeah, that should work. Obviously we can do it like that. Okay, that's one of the ways of doing this. Or what we could do is that we can write it obviously as A plus AR squared minus 2AR, and from this equation we can use the fact that A plus AR squared is 56 minus AR. This is 56 minus AR minus 2AR, which is going to be 56 minus 3AR. That means that 3AR is 56 minus 14, which is going to be 42. So AR is 14. That we got easily. Okay, so she got A times R equals to 14. We can just use that fact. So we can say that A is equals to 14 upon R, and we can plug that in this equation or this equation, depending on which one of it we want to use. We just plug it in this equation first. Let's see what we get. So at least we know that the middle term is going to be 14. Okay, so the middle term is going to be 14, which means that 14, the previous term is 14 upon R, and then the next term is 14 into R is equals to 56. Now we are very near to finding the ratio. So 1 upon R plus 1 plus R is equals to 56 upon 14, which is 4. So this becomes 3. So you get 1 plus R squared equals to 3R. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it looks like that. Okay, cool. Which means that R squared minus 3R plus 1 is equals to 0. Wow, I was not expecting this. Are they given any kind of options? find these three numbers. If it was minus 2r, that could have been different, but this thing is, I think, is not cool. Subtract 121 from these numbers and okay, no. AP, find these numbers. Well, this is not what I was expecting though. Let's see if this is having some roots. So r equals to plus minus root b squared, which is 9 minus 4 plus 3 upon 2, which is plus minus root 5 plus 3 upon 2. Okay, well, 9 minus, oh, that kind of does work. So yes, both roots, they multiply to 1. So I think we are going correct, maybe. Yeah, I think this is correct. So we can find those three numbers using this as the common ratio, but I won't do that because that will be tedious. I might have made some mistake in solving, but that's the whole process, so I don't think there's going to be anything different. Okay, if A, B, C, R and GP, prove that A times B squared plus C is equals to C times A squared plus B squared. Okay, so A, B, C, R and GP, which means that B squared is equals to AC. Okay, so here we have A times B squared plus C squared, which is, well, B squared can be written as AC. This is going to be A squared, A into AC plus C squared, which is AC into A plus C. Okay, the right hand side is C into A squared plus B squared. So yeah, that's more like it. So C into A squared plus AC, which is AC into A plus C. So yes, both left hand side and right hand side are equal. So yes, that's the legit equation. Oh, that was an option. That was not okay. I think whatever. Just go on. I think I solved it beforehand, so maybe that's why I marked it. I don't know. Okay, if A, B, C, D are in GP, prove that AB minus CD upon B square minus C square equals to A plus C upon B. Second is A plus B plus C plus D whole squared equals to A plus B whole squared plus 2 times of B plus C whole squared plus C plus D whole squared. A, B, C, D are in GP. This can be very bad. Let's try to cut down the variables one by one. So we have AB minus CD. Okay, so AB minus CD upon, you have B squared. Well, I'm going to write B squared as AC, and you have C squared, which I can write as BD, and that is supposed to be equal to A plus C upon B. Let's see what we can do. So you have AB minus CD upon AC minus BD. Okay, I can write A into B. No, I cannot write anything about it, so that's not a good thing to do. Let's just use the fact that if these are in GP, we can write B as AR, C as AR squared, and D as AR to the third power. Okay, so from this we'll get A times B. A equals to A, obviously. A times B, that will be A squared R, minus C times D, that's going to be A squared R to the 5th, upon B squared, which is going to be A squared R squared, minus C squared is going to be A squared into R to the 4th power. That's going to be equal to, well, 1 minus R to the 4th upon R minus R to the 3rd power, which is 1 minus R squared into R 1 plus R squared upon R into 1 minus R squared. This is going to be 1 plus R squared upon R. And what is the right hand side? AC upon B. So A plus C upon B. That is A plus, well, C is A into R squared upon B is AR, which is obviously 1 plus r squared upon r. So yes, these both are equal. So that's a good equation. This is perfectly correct. Go to the next one, which is a plus b plus c plus d whole square. Okay, yeah, I mean that whole thing. Okay, let's just do this now. So a plus ar but ar squared plus ar to the third power, all that squared, equals to a plus b whole squared, which is a plus ar whole squared plus 2 times of b plus c whole squared, which is, well, which is ar plus ar squared whole squared plus this thing whole squared. Oh, come on. Which is, what is this? This thing is ar squared plus ar cubed whole squared. Okay. So the right hand side can be written as a squared times, instead of writing that, just write it as a squared times 1 plus r squared times, well, the first one you just have 1, then for the next one you have 2r squared, for the next one you have r to the 4th power, which is a squared into 1 plus r squared into 1 plus r whole squared. Yeah, I think that's correct. So yeah, 1 plus r squared whole squared. So that is correct. Okay, what about this one? Let's see what we can do with this one. So let's look at the LHS now. So the LHS is going to be equal to a squared is obviously there, and then you have 1 plus r squared plus r cubed whole squared is going to be a squared into, well, 1 plus r can be taken from to common from first two, so you get 1 plus r. Similarly, 1 plus r can be taken common from these two, and then we get 1 plus r squared on the other bracket. This thing squared, which is obviously a squared into 1 plus r squared into 1 plus r squared squared. Wait, what? Yes, that's squared. Why didn't we get a square over there? What went wrong? And yeah, this was supposed to be square. Sorry, yeah, I forgot to write that. Yeah, because you see this b plus c whole square, so you get 1 plus r squared whole squared. Similarly here you get 1 plus r squared whole squared over there. Okay, that's, no, wait, yeah, obviously. So what we got in the large bracket was 1 plus 2r squared plus r to the 4th, right? So, oh, that's correct, that's correct. I just messed it up. I forgot to write it properly, but you see how that was coming, right? It was going to be a squared into, you took 1 plus r common from everything, and then you squared it because these were squares, and then the remaining thing was 1 plus r squared 2r squared plus r to the 4th, which was 1 plus r squared whole squared. So that is this thing, that is this thing, that is this thing. Yep, that's correct. This is also a correct equation. Go to the next one. Okay, so the next one is, where is it? Oh, so yeah, there it is, third one. B plus c into b plus d equals to c plus d into c plus a. Okay, so let's use this. So b squared plus, yeah, instead of writing it like it's, write it on the usual format. So we get ar plus ar squared into b plus d, which is ar plus ar cubed. That should be equal to c plus d, c plus a, okay, which is a plus ar squared into c plus d, which is ar squared plus ar cubed. Okay, let's see what we get. So a square can be removed from both of them, right? And then an r can be removed from both of them, so you get 1 plus r into 1 plus r squared over here, and then you get 1 plus r squared over here, and r into 1 plus r. Yeah, I think that's correct. Actually, instead of removing an r, you just remove the whole r square from both the sides. So divide both sides by r squared and also by a. That will give me 1 plus r into 1 plus r squared is equals to 1 plus r squared into 1 plus r, which is correct. Yes, so this is also a good equation, perfectly correct. Let's go to the next question. If a, b, c are in gp, prove that the following are also in gp: a squared, b squared and c squared. So suppose a, b, c are in gp, so we can write b equals to a times r and c equals to a times r squared. Yes, so a squared, b squared and c squared, this series can be written as a squared, b is this thing, but that thing squared is going to be a squared times r squared, and then c squared can be written as a squared times r to the 4th power. You can see this is a jump of r squared. You multiply this by r squared to get this thing, and then you multiply this by r squared to get this thing. So this is also a gp, very correct. Okay, and then a cubed, b cubed and c cubed, so it's going to be almost the same thing, just in this case the difference, the common ratio, that's going to be r cubed, and the first term is going to be a cubed. So we will get a cubed r cubed and a cubed r to the 6th power, something like that. Okay, the next thing is a squared plus b squared, ab plus bc and b squared plus c squared. We have to prove that this is a gp. So let's do it. A squared plus b squared, that is a squared into 1 plus r squared. Yes, and then you have ab plus bc, that is a squared into, well, how many r's over here? Only one of them, so r. How many r's over here? So this is ar, this is ar squared, so r cubed, which is a squared into 1 plus r squared into r. What about this one? B squared plus c squared, that's going to be a squared times, yes, a 1 r over there, so r squared into 1 plus, this is supposed to be r squared. You obviously took 1 r out of it, so you got 1 r left, so 1 plus r squared. Okay, so yes, you can see that when you multiply this by r, you get this thing. When you multiply this by r, you get this thing. So these are obviously in gp. Let's go to the next question, which is if a, b, c are in gp, prove that a squared b plus b squared, b squared plus c squared and c squared plus d squared are also in gp. So it's, yeah, it's almost the same as the previous one. Okay, so a squared plus b squared is going to be a squared into 1 plus r squared. Then b squared plus c squared is going to be a squared r squared, yes, into 1 plus r squared. Okay, c squared plus d squared is going to be a square r to the 4th power. Yeah, I think so. R to the 4th power and then 1 plus r squared. So yes, just go up by r squared every time. This is our gp. Let's go to the next question, which is second, a squared minus b squared into okay, comma b squared minus c squared, comma c squared minus b squared. These are in gp. So instead of 1 plus r squared, this time you will get 1 minus r squared. So this will be a squared into 1 minus r squared plus a squared r squared into 1 minus r squared. Why am I writing plus over here? Okay, and then a squared r to the 4th 1 minus r squared. Okay, instead of having this plus over there, you're having minus, so there's no big difference. Let's go to the next question, which is 1 over a squared plus b squared, 1 over b squared plus c squared and 1 over c squared plus d squared are in gp. So because we have proved that this thing is a gp, it is going to be very easy to prove that this is also gp, because here it is just the reciprocal of each term, right? The reciprocal of this is this thing, the reciprocal of this thing is this thing. So the ratio is going to be inverted. So instead of going up by r every time, they're going to go up by 1 by r, but overall it's the same thing. Okay, that's it. Oh no, there's a 4th question. So a squared plus b squared plus c squared, and then AB plus BC plus CD, and then B square plus C square plus D square R in GP. That's easy. So A squared into 1, this thing, A squared plus B squared plus C squared, that thing can be written as A squared into 1 plus R squared plus R to the 4th. This thing can be written as A squared into R plus R squared plus R, wait, no, not R squared, R to the 3rd power, yeah, and then R to the 5th power. That's going to be A squared R into 1 plus R squared plus R to the 5th R to the 4th power, sorry. And then this one, that's going to be A squared, and then you have R squared into 1 plus R squared plus R to the 4th power. So yes, you go up by R every time. This is also a GP. Okay, that's nice. Let's go to the next question, which is, if A minus B, B minus C, and C minus D are in a GP, then prove that A plus B plus C whole squared is equals to 3 times AB plus BC plus AC. Okay, that's cool. So it should not be that hard to prove, I think. Let's try to prove it. So look at this equation. I'm going to simplify it. So we get A square plus B square plus C square plus 2 times of this stuff is equals to 3 times of this stuff, which means that it equals to, this thing is equal to 1 times of this stuff, which is AB plus BC plus AC. I think I know how to do it. So if A minus B, B minus C, and C minus D are in a GP, then what we can do is that we can factor out this. Yeah, that will work. So A into A minus B, right, just move this over here, so that's cool, plus B into B minus C, right, move it over there, plus, what's this thing, C into C minus A is equals to 0. Okay, cool. We are given that A minus B, B minus C, and C minus A, these are in a GP. I want to have A minus B, another A minus B over there. How can I do that? There's got to be some way. B minus C, that can be, oh, this is getting pretty hard, huh? Okay, let's see what we get from, just erase everything, plus AC. Okay, let's see what we get when we use this condition properly. We will get B squared minus 2BC plus C squared is equals to A minus B into C minus A, which is AC minus A squared, and then minus BC minus AB, I think. So one of them will cancel. Okay, you will have B squared plus A squared plus C squared is equal to AC. Why is this negative? I think something is messed up over here. You should get the product of both of them. So AC and then minus A square and then minus C. Oh, sorry, minus minus is plus. This is supposed to be plus AB. So this will be AC plus AB plus BC, and that is exactly what we got over here. So yes, that's correct. This question is done. Let's go to the next question. Erase this as well. Yes, so this equation is correct. Okay, if ABC are in AP and BCD are in GP and 1 by C, 1 by D and 1 by E are in AP, prove that ACE are in GP. Wow, I mean, quite a bit of numbers, huh? Okay, so ABC, these are in AP, and then BCD, these are in GP. There has to be something common. Oh, maybe we can relate A, D, and which next thing can we relate? And then you have C, D, and E. Yeah, maybe we can relate A, D, and E somehow. or we can relate AC and E. Yeah, let's just see what we get. Let's try to make some equations first. So we will have ABC are in AP, which means that 2B equals to A plus C. Okay. And then BCD are in GP. So you will have B squared is equals to CD, I think. Okay, cool. So let's see. What about we eliminate one of the... Yeah, maybe we can eliminate one of them. That will be a nice try. Okay. So there we go. Let's try it out. So when we multiply this by b squared, yeah, so that gives me 2b squared is equals to 2cd, and then multiply with this by b squared, you will get ab plus bc equals to 2b squared. So from this we can get that ab plus bc is equal to 2 times of cd. Nothing very powerful yet, but that is our first equation. Let's get some other equations. Okay. BCD are in GP, and 1 by C, 1 by D, 1 by E are in AP. Which means that 2 upon D minus, okay, equals to 1 upon C plus 1 upon E. What can we do? Well, we want 2 upon C somehow. Okay, 2 upon D somehow. I think if we divide this by... No, that won't work. 2 upon D. Actually, it might work. Don't know. Okay, let's see what we get from this equation. So we have almost eliminated some of the middle terms. Yeah, I think here we have eliminated b from this. No, not yet, will. But let's see what we get. So we get a e plus c upon ec. E plus c upon ec. Okay, so this is getting weird. So we'll get 2ec equals to ed plus dc. Hey, we know the value of dc, right? We know this is going to be ap upon 2 plus bc upon 2, I think. Okay. Not sure where we are going with this. So we need to get rid of this first of all. Yes, but how? Yeah, we can't just directly put that in. This will get very messy very fast. You got AD and then you got DC. Well, we knew the value of DC. Let's see what we get first of all. So we get 4EC equals to, what's this, 2AD plus AB plus BC. Well, so wow, I have no idea what we are supposed to be doing in this. These are in AP, which means that 2 by D equals to 1 by C plus. We have to prove that A, C and E are in GP. So our final equation should be C square equals to A. Let's try to eliminate everything else from it. Let's try to eliminate B. Let's try to eliminate some other stuff. So instead of making some equation and thinking that maybe something will come out directly, let's forcefully eliminate some stuff. I think that's the only thing which we can do right now. So yeah, let's multiply this. Okay, erase this as well. Let's multiply this equation by 4. So that will give me 2b whole squared equals to 4cd. Okay, let's put this value in here. So you will get a squared plus 2ac plus c squared is equals to 4cd. Okay, that's our first equation now. And then you have this thing, 2 by d is equals to 1 by c plus 1 by e. Let's see what we get. We get e plus c upon ec equals to 2 by d, which means that 2ad equals to ed plus cd. Okay, so we know the value of cd, right? Yeah, from this equation. So let's multiply by 4. So we'll get 8 ED is equals to wait, what? Sorry, this is not supposed to be ED, it's supposed to be EC, right? Even this thing, that's supposed to be EC. Sorry for that. So over here as well you will have EC, not ED. Okay, we are trying to eliminate what, B from it and also D from it. So yeah, hopefully this will eliminate D completely. Okay, so this is going to be equal to D into E plus C. Now okay, 4 into D into E plus C. We can go ahead and multiply this by C, I think. So 8EC squared is equals to 4CD times E plus C, but 4CD is this thing. So A squared plus 2AC plus C squared into E plus C. I can write it as A plus C whole squared, but that's fine. This will work as well, I think. So we will get more E squared, C squared over there, and a lot of weird stuff. I think we are going on the right direction. Yeah, it looks like that. So we now do have a direct connection between A, C and E, but okay, let's see what we get from this. So we'll get 8EC squared is equals to A squared E plus 2AEC. Oh god, this is messed up. We need some other way out of it. Oh, this is supposed to be E plus C. Yeah, I did multiply by DC. That's why I could write it like that. E squared plus 2AC plus D squared. That's why this is this is very weird. Was not expecting this to work. I don't think it's going to work. Let's see. So A squared and then 2AC AC times E plus EC squared. Oh, that's the first thing which we get. And then plus A squared C plus 2AC squared plus C cubed. Let's see what we get. So one of this is A squared, EC squared. One of them will cancel. I don't think we are going anywhere with this. Most likely we have done something wrong. That's why it's not working out correctly. Yeah, obviously. Otherwise it would have been done so much more faster, right? But it's not that fast. Shit, I got it. I got why this thing is not working. We wrote one of the equations incorrectly. Oh god, this is the third try. Just hope that this will work this time. Okay, so A, B, C are in AP, and then you have C squared equals to BT, but yeah, that I can't believe this. We actually wrote the whole equation incorrectly from the start. So 2C squared equals to 2BD, which is going to be A plus C into D. Okay, that's our first equation. So 2C squared equals to AD plus CD. Fine. And then you have this thing. So 2 upon D equals to 1 upon E plus 1 upon C. So that gives me 2EC equals to DC plus DE, I think. Okay, so let's just multiply this by, okay, this is going to be D into C plus E. Fine. So 2EC equals to this thing. Let's just multiply this by A plus C. Okay, so that will give me 2EC into A plus C. That will be equal to, well, D into A plus C is going to be 2C squared into C plus E. Okay, fine. So this will cancel, this will get cancelled. Fine. So you will have EA plus EC equals to C squared plus EC. So you will have EA equals to C squared, which is exactly what we wanted. So yes, this equation is also correct. And this did take a lot of time. Sorry for these silly mistakes. It does happen sometimes. Okay, let's go to the next question, which is if ABC are in AP and AXB and BYC are in GP, show that x squared, b squared and y squared are in AP. Okay, fine, let's see. So we will have 2x equals to a plus b and 2y equals to b plus c, and we will have b squared equals to ac. Fine. So let's look at this thing, x squared, b squared and y squared. When you put the value of x as a plus b upon 2 in this thing, what you get is a squared plus 2b 2ab plus b squared, okay, upon 2 squared is going to be 4, and then you have 4b squared upon 4, and then you have y, which is like, yeah, b plus c upon 2 whole squared is going to be b squared plus 2bc plus c squared upon 4. And what do we have to prove? We have to prove that these things are in an AP. Well, if these things are in AP, then 4 times these things, that should also be an AP. So this thing should also be an AP. And if we can simplify it furthermore, it will be very good for us. Okay, here we go. We can subtract b squared from each of the terms and still it should be an AP, which means that a squared plus 2ab and 3b squared and 2bc plus c squared, this should also be an AP. Okay, that's almost done. Let's see what else we have got. Okay, we have got this equation, b squared equals to ac. Okay, fine. So we'll get a squared plus 2ab and then 3ac and then 2bc plus c squared. This should be an AP. Okay, what are we given? We are given that b squared equals to c, so that's like the only relation between this. Okay, so what we know is not enough for this. Okay, we can kind of do that as well. So just multiply by AC once. Yeah, that might work. Okay, there you go. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to factor out an a from this, a into a plus 2b, and then this thing 3ac, and then I'm going to factor a c from this, so c into c plus 2b. Okay, this should be an AP. Now I'm going to divide these things by AC and it should still be an AP, which means that yes, so should I divide by AC or what? Yeah, I'll just divide by AC. So that will give me a upon c plus 2b upon c, comma 3, comma, when you divide by AC you get c upon a plus 2b upon c. This should be an AP. Wait, something is messed up over here. I don't think we are going correctly. Right. Most likely we are not going correctly. Just do this once again. We have to prove that x square, y square, b square and y square are in AP. So it is equivalent of proving that 4x squared and then 4b squared and 4y squared are also in AP, which is equivalent of proving that this squared but times 4 and this squared, these are in a GP, sorry, in a AP, which means that, okay, a plus b whole squared, 4b squared, okay, this is taking forever, b plus c whole squared, this should be an AP. Wow. Okay, what do we do with this? Really, that's not what we wanted exactly. Okay, so let's say that b equals to AR and c equals to AR, so maybe that will help us out. So from here we can get that a plus AR whole squared and then 4 times a squared r squared and then AR plus AR squared whole squared. This should be an AP, which is more like saying that a squared into 1 plus r squared, 1 plus r whole squared, and then, oh god, this is taking forever, and then 4, okay, so a squared into 4r squared, and then a squared into r squared, into 1 plus r squared. Well, maybe I should write it differently. Maybe I should write it as 1 plus 2r plus 2r squared. This is 2r plus r squared. I don't know. This is not working. Show that x squared plus squared. Oh shit. That's where it comes from. Okay, so, oh come on, not again. We misread the whole condition. Why is this happening? Guys, if you're trying to do these kind of problems, please don't do what I'm doing currently. I just completely misread the whole condition and we did something incorrect. Okay, so condition actually says that axb and byc are gp's, which means that x squared equals to ab and y squared equals to bc. So this thing, x squared, b squared and y squared, that is going to be ab, b squared and bc. So if this is a ap, then it is equivalent of proving that a, b and c are in ap, but they already are in ap. That's written over here, so this was obviously correct. I'm really sorry about that. Okay, let's go to the next question. If ABC are in GP, then prove that a squared plus AB upon B plus B squared upon BC plus AC plus AB, okay, that equals to B plus A upon C plus B. Okay, that's not a big deal. Let's just do this. So the numerator can be written as A into A plus, well, A plus, maybe I should have written C squared, whatever. So a plus b plus, okay, there's no, I'm going to write b squared as ac. Okay, so I think you can see that. So ac, and then you can factor out an a from that, and then this denominator, I'm going to write ac as b squared and then factor out a b from it. So that will give me c plus, well, ac was written as b squared, so got b plus a. This thing cancels completely, and we have to prove that this is equals to b plus a upon c plus b. Okay, so b plus a upon c plus b is going to be equal to b upon a plus 1 upon c upon a plus b upon a. I think, no, not do it like that. Okay, we have to prove that this is equal to b plus a upon c plus b. In other words, we have to prove that this is the equation is more like ac plus b squared equals to b squared plus ab. Sorry, this is ab, which is obviously correct, right? What's the problem with this? No, this was like ac plus b squared. No, the shit. This is not b squared. Why am I doing it like this? So ac plus ab equals to b squared plus ab, which is obviously correct because abc are in a gp. So yeah, that's obvious. Let's go to the next question. If 4th, 10th and 16th term of a gp are xyz respectively, prove that xyz are in gp. Okay, that's nice. So 4th, 10th and 16th term of a gp, so a r cubed is equals to x, a r to the 9th is equals to pi, and ar to the 15th is equals to z. So you can see you are going up by r to the 6th over here. Well, you are going up by r to the 6th over here. So yes, x, y, z are in a gp with the common ratio being r to the 6th. Okay, that's easy. If pth, qth and rth term of an ap, of a and ap and gp are both abc respectively, show that a to the b minus c, b to the, okay, so pth, qth and rth term of ap and gp are both a, b and c respectively. Okay, so oh, so okay, that's weird. So p term is a in both the ap and the gp. The q term is b in both the ap and the gp, and the r term is c in both ap and gp. Show that a to the b minus c, b to the c minus a, and c to the a minus b is equals to 1. Okay, here we are assuming that p, q and r are distinct numbers. Okay, so what will we get from that? um, p, q and r term. So in the ap, the pth term is going to be a minus b plus pd, and that is the same as just call this capital A, that will make more sense. So okay, that will not make more sense. Instead of writing as, okay, whatever, just write it as aap and then a minus d plus pd. This is going to be the pth term, which is a. This is also the pth term of the gp, which is a gp, and then r to the p minus 1. Okay, fine. Show that instead of doing all this, let's let's do it differently. Let's do it like this: 2b equals to a plus c, because abc. Okay, that does not make sense. Sorry. uh okay, let's do it like this: b b minus a, that's going to be q minus p times r, and c minus p, that's going to be r minus q times r. I mean, here, okay, let's call this d right now. When you divide this, you get b minus a upon c minus b equals to q minus p upon r minus q. Fine. And you also have that these are in a gp, which means like b upon a, that's going to be r to the q minus p power, and then c upon b, and that's going to be equal to r to the that what r to the, where is it, r to the r minus q power. Okay, fine. So what should we do with this thing? Wow, never expected this to happen. Okay, let's say that you raise this to the r minus q power, and this also to r minus q power, and you raise this to q minus p power, and this also to the q minus p power. What you will get is p upon a to r minus q is equal to c upon b to q minus r. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so you can see here there are no r and q's and p's anywhere, so that's nice. I think, oh sorry, this is q minus p. Okay, this is q minus p, so c upon b, q minus p, not r over there. Okay, sorry. So there are no p, q, r in this equation, so we have to eliminate those p, q and r. So here we can use the fact that yeah, so let's raise both of these to the dth power. So p upon a times r minus q into d is going to be c upon p into q minus p into d. What is r minus q to the d? That is c minus b, and this is similarly b minus a. So b upon a to c minus b equals to c upon b to b minus a. Okay, so you get b to the c minus d in plus b minus a power, that is equal to c to the b minus a power into a to the b minus a power. Okay, fine, which means that b to, what is this, it's like c minus b, right? Yeah, this is c minus b. Yes, so a a into c minus b power. Okay, that's more like it. Fine. So when you add this up, you just get c minus a equals to c to the b minus a into a to the c minus b, which can be written as a into b minus c into c into a minus b into c into um, sorry, it's supposed to be c into a minus b, and then you have b into c minus a is equals to 1. Okay, that's fine. That's exactly what we had to prove. Yeah, that's done. Sorry it took so long, but whatever. I mean, I did not do it beforehand. Okay, I think someone else did. That's why there are these markings over there. I think yes, most likely these are markings because my tutor did this. So whatever. So I hope you enjoyed it. I will meet you in the next video.